Greetings, everyone. I am honored to be here with you today to share a powerful message. Life is a journey filled with moments of waiting, challenges, and uncertainty, but I want you to embrace this truth that delay is not denial. Too many people give up on their dreams, their purpose, and their prayers simply because the answers did not come on their timeline. But let me remind you, God's timing is always perfect. It may not align with your schedule, but it is always right. Today, we are going to explore how trusting in God's timing can transform frustration into faith, delay into destiny, and waiting into wisdom. Life is a journey, and like any journey, it has its fair share of twists, turns, and pauses. One of the most common experiences on this journey is the feeling of delay, the sense that things are not happening as quickly as you hoped or expected. Delays can be frustrating, discouraging, and even disheartening, but it is important to recognize a fundamental truth: delay is part of the journey. It is not a rejection, a roadblock, or a sign that you are on the wrong path. Instead, it is a vital component of the process, a time for preparation, growth, and transformation. Understanding that delays are part of the journey allows you to shift your perspective from frustration to faith and turn the waiting into a meaningful season of development. Too many people struggle with the concept of waiting. They set goals, make plans, and expect life to move according to their timeline, only to find themselves confronted with a period of stillness. This is where the struggle begins, when expectations collide with reality. The natural response to delays is impatience and doubt. We ask ourselves questions like, why is this taking so long? Why haven't my prayers been answered? Why do I feel stuck? These questions come from a place of human need, but the problem is that they often lead to frustration instead of faith. When you find yourself in a period of waiting, it is essential to shift your mindset. Recognize that a delay does not mean you are being punished or that your vision will never come to pass. Delays are not the absence of progress. They are an invitation to trust, grow, and prepare for what lies ahead. Think of delays as a season of cultivation, a time when you are being equipped for the next phase of your life. Just as a farmer must prepare the soil, plant seeds, and wait for the proper conditions for growth, you must allow time for the preparation of your heart, mind, and spirit. Every delay serves a purpose. It could be that you are being given time to build character, strengthen your faith, or refine your goals. You may not yet have the maturity, wisdom, or experience to handle the blessing or the vision you are seeking. Often, delays give you the time and space to discover things about yourself that you may not have recognized during times of rapid movement. They give you the opportunity to build resilience, patience, and trust, qualities that will be essential when you step into the fullness of your purpose. Growth often requires waiting, because growth is not about rushing, it is about becoming. Delays can prevent us from rushing into situations or decisions that are not aligned with our ultimate purpose. Sometimes the pressure to act quickly, to force outcomes, or to control circumstances can lead us away from the path that was intended for us. Delays allow time to pause, reflect, and seek clarity. They give us the opportunity to realign ourselves with God's plans instead of our own. This is one of the greatest lessons of delay. It teaches us that we are not in control of everything, and that surrender to a higher power can lead to better outcomes. It is easy to forget that delays are not arbitrary or random. They are divinely orchestrated moments designed to teach us patience, to strengthen our faith, and to prepare us for the next level of our journey. Sometimes God allows delays because He is positioning us for something greater than what we can see in the moment. What may feel like a setback or an obstacle could actually be the very thing that leads you to your breakthrough. Delays have a way of stripping away pride, self-reliance, and impulsiveness, forcing us to trust in something greater than ourselves. Think about the stories of faith and triumph in Scripture or history. Many individuals who achieved greatness faced long periods of delay before their victory. They waited, they persevered, and they trusted, even when circumstances seemed hopeless. Their delays were never wasted. Instead, those periods of stillness became the training ground for their faith, character, and purpose. For example, consider the story of Joseph. His journey was filled with delays, betrayal by his brothers, imprisonment, and isolation. but each delay was a part of the divine plan. Through patience, faith, and trust, Joseph transitioned from a prison to the palace, fulfilling his vision and purpose. Every person who has ever accomplished anything great can trace the seeds of their success back to a season of delay. These delays were not evidence that they were forgotten or abandoned. They were evidence that they were being prepared, refined, and made ready for the opportunity that lay ahead. Your delays work in the same way. They are preparing you for the next phase of your journey. You are being equipped with strength, wisdom, understanding, and faith. The pause in your life is not wasted time. It is time being invested in your development. The key is to trust the process and accept that delays are part of a greater journey. They teach you to rely on faith instead of sight, to trust in the unseen, and to believe that your dreams are not abandoned simply because the timeline doesn't look the way you envisioned. Trust is the bridge that allows you to cross the gap between frustration and faith. When you trust that God has a plan for your life and that His timing is perfect, you can walk through the waiting with confidence rather than despair. You begin to see that even in stillness, progress is taking place. Even when you can't see it, you are being shaped, molded, and prepared. The next time you find yourself feeling stuck, ask yourself this question: what can I learn during this delay? Embrace the waiting as an opportunity to strengthen your relationship with God, to build your faith, and to learn about your purpose and your calling. Take the time to listen to the stillness, to reflect on your life, and to trust that even when it doesn't look like it, progress is happening. Delays are not denials. They are a necessary part of the journey, a journey that is always leading you toward your destiny. Trust the journey. Trust the process. Trust the timing. You are exactly where you need to be. Life is a journey filled with countless decisions, plans, goals, and dreams. Along this journey, one of the greatest challenges is learning the difference between your timing and God's timing. These two concepts are often in conflict because, as human beings, we tend to desire immediate results and expect things to happen according to our own schedules. We set goals, we pray, we plan, and we wait only to discover that the answers, breakthroughs, or dreams we seek do not come as quickly as we hoped. This is when the tension begins, when your expectations clash with the reality of waiting. Understanding the difference between your timing and God's timing is crucial for spiritual growth, peace, and fulfillment. Our natural inclination is to control every aspect of life. We want to be in charge of the outcome, and as a result, we develop a timeline for our dreams, goals, and prayers. We decide when we want to see certain results, and we assume that by working hard or putting in effort, we can force life to unfold as we planned. However, the reality is that life does not always align with our plans, and that is okay. The truth is, your timing is limited because you only see a small portion of the picture. You lack the clarity, the wisdom, and the full scope of what is necessary to know when the best time for a specific outcome will be. This is why God's timing is so essential. God's timing operates on a much higher level than ours. He sees the entire picture, past, present, and future, and knows what is best for you and the purpose He has for your life. While your timeline may feel urgent, God's timing is always perfect because it is built on divine wisdom, love, and purpose. Learning to trust God's timing requires humility, surrender, and faith. It is not simply about hoping that things will work out the way you want, but about trusting that even when you can't see the way forward, He has already paved the path. One of the reasons we struggle with accepting God's timing is because it does not always align with our expectations. We expect prayers to be answered on demand or for opportunities to come when we feel ready. When the answer does not come quickly, we often become discouraged, impatient, or even doubt whether God is listening. But the key is understanding that God's timing is not about convenience or what feels right to you in the moment. It is about what is ultimately for your greatest good. Sometimes delays are part of the plan because they give us time to prepare, to mature, and to build character and strength. Think about this. Imagine trying to force an outcome before you are ready for it. If you received everything you wanted on your schedule without preparation, you may not have been equipped to handle it. You may not have had the wisdom, strength, or maturity to navigate it successfully. This is why God's timing is always about preparation. He allows delays, detours, and pauses because He wants to make sure you are ready for the blessing or opportunity you seek. Your own timing may feel urgent, but God's timing is always intentional. Every moment, every season of waiting is part of His divine preparation. The challenge in reconciling your timing with God's timing is learning to trust even when it seems as though nothing is happening. It is easy to lose faith during seasons of delay. You pray, you plan, and you expect to see results, but instead, all you experience is silence or stillness. This is when faith becomes truly necessary. Trusting God's timing means believing that even when you can't see the outcome, He is still at work behind the scenes. His ways are not always visible, but they are always effective. Trusting Him requires you to let go of your need for control and allow Him to operate in His perfect time. When you operate solely based on your timing, you are relying on limited perspective. You are relying on what you can see, what you can understand, and what you think is logical. However, God's timing operates from infinite wisdom. He considers your heart, your purpose, your spiritual growth, and the lives of others as part of His divine plan. He knows the right doors to open and the right seasons for breakthroughs. Trusting God's timing allows you to surrender the need for answers and to lean into faith rather than fear. Even when life feels uncertain, knowing that His timing is perfect can bring peace and assurance. The struggle comes when we try to force outcomes by relying only on our own efforts. This is often a sign that you are resisting God's timing. While effort is important and hard work is commendable, there comes a point when striving becomes counterproductive. This is the moment when you must stop, pause, and trust Him. True faith is not just about action, it is about trust in the unseen, even when everything feels uncertain. It is learning to release your plans and your expectations and to place them into His hands, knowing that He can do what you cannot. The beauty of God's timing is that it always brings the best outcomes at the perfect moment. When you choose to trust Him, you align your heart with His plan and you begin to experience His faithfulness. His timing may not make sense to your human mind, but it will always lead to peace, purpose, and fulfillment. Every delay is not a rejection, it is an invitation to trust Him more deeply, to learn patience, and to recognize His presence in your life. You can trust Him because His love for you is unconditional, His wisdom is infinite, and His plans are always for your good. When you allow yourself to shift your perspective and focus less on your timeline and more on His timing, you will find that the burdens of waiting are lifted. Instead of fighting against delays, you can begin to trust that they are part of His perfect plan, leading you to greater purpose, blessings, and spiritual growth. Your timing will always be limited, but God's timing is limitless. Trust Him, let go of your need to control every outcome, and embrace the peace that comes with surrender. His timing will never fail you. His plan will always bring you exactly where you are meant to be at the right moment. Faith is the bridge between your timing and God's timing. When you trust Him, you will find that the journey, even in its delays, is worth every moment.